Oh, great Sultan.
He hit her.
Pickwood Alabash.
Welcome. Hello. Welcome. Thank you for being so patient. We had a little problem here with the setup for the music, but they tell me that that's good luck. So I guess we're going to do a better performance as a result of it. I'm very happy to see you all here this year. We have a semi-reluctant Sultan here, so will you please give him a big round of applause to make him feel welcome? I keep telling him this is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. He's never going to get a crack at this again. We're going to begin with a folk dance done to some Lebanese music. like to hear a little bit about the history of belly dancing, or Middle Eastern dancing, or Oriental dancing, as it is called. It is probably the oldest art form that we have. It is probably the oldest forms of communication that we can historically prove, and that is because we have hieroglyphics and drawings on walls of caves and so forth that prove that this dance has been around probably since the beginning of time, or certainly as old as man himself. The dance that we're about to do for you now is a cane dance, and it is basically considered to be Egyptian. However, the origins may have gone back even before Egypt, perhaps to the Mesopotamian Valley, but certainly in Egypt, where the terrain is very rocky and many people do shepherding as their line of work, and are forced to carry canes or staffs with them. And being very musical and not having MTV, they took to doing little tricks and dances with their canes, simply as a means of entertainment, okay? Those long, lonely nights on the field, you know, sheep can be kind of boring, I guess. So anyway, we're about to do that for you now, a cane dance. It also can be done with swords and weapons, at which time it was used for warriors would do this dance, or a dance similar to it, with a sword that would portray some of their battles that they had encountered, or perhaps they would do this before a battle to ask for assistance from the gods to protect them. So there are lots of different symbols for the cane dance, and you thought it started with vaudeville, right? Okay.
I know. I like the colors. I know. She's up to date.
Okay. We'd like to give you a little variety in our program, and so now we're going to do a couple of numbers that go into each other that would be more typified by what we call cabaret dancing, which is the type of dancing you might see if you went to a club or a wedding or a party that featured a belly dancer. And so right now we're going to do Valerie Nyla. of Jasmine from the Jewels of the Nile Dance Troupe. Please help me welcome Jasmine. woman, Jasmine, is the proud mother of 2 fine young little boys that are here today. Isn't that nice? I'd also like to tell you just a little bit about her costume. She's wearing a melody dress, which is more in tune with the ethnic dancing, which is what she just performed. Thank you very much, Deb. Person. I'd like to introduce to you Robin. This is Natasha. Secretaries are never considered ordinary, are they? No, and this is Billy. This is Tasha. I can't ignore our Sultan over here. He hasn't fallen asleep yet, has he? No? He's having a good time. We had a hard time talking him into this. Can we have a word? I found a reporter here. Can we have a word from the Sultan? How are you doing, Sultan? Are you having a good time?
A wonderful time.
I think he's going to be a regular.
I'll be back.
The Sultan, by the way, is played by
Walter.
Walter. He's not giving his last name. He's incognito. They warned me.
If I could just take him up there.
A beautiful, lovely Israeli love song performed to you by Natasha.